Your brain could be under attack right now, with vital connections being severed, and you wouldn't feel a thing until it's far too late. This isn't a hypothetical threat. It's a biological reality for millions of men. The process is silent, progressive, and it targets the very core of your identity, your memory, your clarity, your ability to reason. We're not talking about normal aging. We're talking about a preventable cascade of cellular decay that can begin decades before the first noticeable symptom appears. But what if your brain had a built-in defense system? A fortress capable of withstanding these attacks? Neurologists call this cognitive reserve. Think of it like this. Two men can have the exact same amount of biological damage, the same plaque buildup, the same cellular decay, but one shows severe symptoms while the other remains sharp and functional. The difference is the strength of their reserve. It's not about having a healthier brain, but a more resilient, flexible, and densely connected one that can reroute signals around damage, just like a city's power grid rerouting electricity during a blackout. So, what are the saboteurs trying to breach this fortress? The primary culprit, as confirmed by researchers at institutions like Harvard Medical School, is chronic, low-grade inflammation. It's a fire you can't see or feel, but it's raging through your system, fueled by poor diet, stress, and lack of sleep. This inflammation releases corrosive molecules that act like acid on your neural wiring, degrading connections. At the same time, metabolic waste products, like amyloid plaques, begin to accumulate, acting like concrete, literally gumming up the works between your brain cells. Knowing the enemy is half the battle. Now, we turn to the blueprint for building an impregnable defense. The science is clear. Constructing a high cognitive reserve is an active process, not a passive hope. It rests on three foundational pillars that work in synergy. First, targeted nutrition that directly fights inflammation and provides raw materials for brain cells. Second, specific physical activity that triggers the release of powerful neuroprotective chemicals. And third, novel and complex mental stimulation that forces your brain to build new, redundant pathways. We are now moving from the problem to the precise, actionable solution. This is the architect's toolkit. Let's start with nutrition, and we must be specific. First, flavonoids, particularly anthocyanins. Your mission is to consume 1 full cup of blueberries or blackberries daily, not weekly, daily. These compounds directly cross the blood-brain barrier to reduce neuroinflammation and improve signaling between brain cells. Second, omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA. This requires consuming fatty fish like wild-caught salmon or mackerel at least 3 times per week, aiming for a 4-ounce serving. DHA is a primary structural component of your brain tissue. You are literally rebuilding your cell membranes with it. Third, avoid one specific ingredient like the plague: high fructose corn syrup, found in countless processed foods and sugary drinks. It's a metabolic poison that drives liver fat, spikes insulin, and creates a firestorm of inflammation that directly damages the hippocampus, your brain's memory center. Read every label. If it's in the top 5 ingredients, do not buy it. This isn't about dieting, it's about supplying your fortress with the right building materials and keeping the saboteurs out. Now for the master builder's routine. This is about action and recovery. First, physical exercise. Generic cardio is not enough. You must engage in at least 20 minutes of high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, 3 times a week. This means pushing your heart rate to 80% of its maximum for short bursts. Why? This specific stress level is proven to maximize the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your neurons, stimulating the growth of new cells and strengthening existing ones. Second, you must master sleep. Your brain cleans itself during deep sleep through the glymphatic system, flushing out metabolic waste like amyloid plaque. Your non-negotiable mission is 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. This means zero screen time, phone, TV, tablet, for at least 90 minutes before bed. The blue light emitted destroys your melatonin production, preventing you from reaching the deep sleep stages where this cleaning occurs. Finally, you must actively learn a new, complex skill, not a crossword puzzle. Learn a musical instrument, a new language, or advanced coding. This forces your brain to build entirely new neural networks from scratch, the very definition of building cognitive reserve. This is your defense. This is how you build a brain that resists decline.